When they found her body, her mouth was still open like she was trying to scream, and her eyes were wide like she had seen something that dragged her soul out of her chest. Her fingernails were broken, skin under them, and her phone was clenched so tight in her fist they had to break her fingers to get it out. That's how Ife died, and I swear on my mother's grave I saw it coming. I was Ife's roommate, 300 level mass communication, Cotton Gold University, Ogun State. We stayed in off-campus block C, room 104. It was one of those privately owned hostels, fancy, overpriced and full of secrets. Everything in that school was fake fancy. The kind of school where lecturers drove Benz while students sold iPhones to pay for textbooks. Ife was a baddie, no lie. Light-skinned, thick in all the right places, always had her lashes done, and her lace fronts melted like she was born with the hair. She knew she was fine, and she used it. Men fell for her, girls envied her, and she liked the attention. But school wasn't going well for her, especially MPR 305, Media Planning and Research. That course had her in a chokehold, and the lecturer, Mr. Daramola, he was something else. If you went to a Nigerian private uni, you probably know his type. Mid-50s, Yoruba man, always in his brown native, walking like he owned the school. He had a belly that shook when he laughed and a tongue that dripped with sarcasm. The kind of lecturer that said, "If you fail, you can carry the course till you graduate. I am not your father." Everybody knew he liked young girls. He always mentored girls that looked like Ife, and some of them got A's while others just disappeared from school gossip like they never existed. We used to joke about it. Daramora's shrine, we called his office. If you entered there and didn't come back changed, then you were probably the priestess yourself. It started like a joke. "Babe," Ife said one night while we were both lying in bed, "if this man fails me again, I swear I'll lose my mind." "You better go and beg," I laughed, not thinking she meant it the way she did. She looked at me and smiled. Begging doesn't work for Daramola, but I know what does. The night she came back from his office, she looked different. She wasn't her usual loud, confident self. Her makeup was smudged and she didn't say a word. Just went straight to the bathroom, stayed there for nearly an hour. When she came back, she lay on her bed facing the wall and muttered, "I passed." That's when I knew what she did, but I didn't ask. Because in Cotton Gold, silence was safer than truth. Things got worse after that. It started with small things. Ife would wake up in the middle of the night, breathing hard like someone was choking her in her sleep. She'd scream sometimes, real screams, like she was being attacked. I'd rush over, try to wake her, but she wouldn't even recognize me for a few seconds. One night, I asked her what she was seeing in those dreams. She looked me dead in the eyes and said, "Something is following me. I don't know what it is, but it keeps whispering in Yoruba, 'Otiban Katiko Tosi. You have taken what does not belong to you.'" After that, I started recording her sleep. I still have the videos. In one of them, she sat up in bed, eyes closed, and started chanting something. I played it for a friend that understood Yoruba deeper than me. He said she was calling on something, or maybe something was calling through her. One day, we came back from class and found our door wide open. Nothing was stolen, but our mirror had cracked from the inside. Like pressure came from behind the glass. Ife looked at it and just shook her head. She said, "I saw that mirror in my dream." I begged her to go to church. She laughed and said she didn't believe in all that. What's chasing me is not ordinary. Church won't help. She started carrying salt in her bag, tied in a nylon, sprinkled it around the corners of our room. I didn't know much, but I'd heard salt was for cleansing. She wasn't even praying, just doing things instinctive like she was remembering a ritual from somewhere. The worst night came 2 weeks before her death. I woke up to the sound of crying, but it wasn't normal crying. It was a mix of crying and laughter, like someone losing their mind. I turned on the light and saw Ife crouched on the floor, naked, facing the wall, dragging her nails down the paint. I screamed. She turned to me, and I swear on everything, her eyes were rolled back, completely white. I ran out of the room. People came, boys from other rooms, a girl from upstairs that said she knew how to pray. It took four of them to hold her down while she kept screaming in that strange Yoruba, and then she passed out. Next morning, she acted like nothing happened. By now, everyone had heard. Her reputation was gone. The body was now the possessed girl. Some people said she visited a babalawo to boost her GPA and it backfired. Others said Daramola used her for something, like a blood covenant. Some believed it was a curse, maybe from one of the other girls he used. I stopped sleeping in the room. I stayed with a friend down the hall. I was scared. I told Ife she needed help. Real help, maybe a deliverance. She just looked at me and said, I took an A from the devil. I can't give it back. The day she died, it rained, but not like normal rain. The sky was yellow-grey, like it couldn't decide whether it was day or night. Thunder kept rumbling but never struck. It felt like the air was holding its breath. I was in class when someone came running. Come, Efe, they mad for hostel. We rushed out. When I got there, the front of the hostel was full. People were forming a circle, screaming, recording. I pushed through the crowd. Efe was on the ground in front of the hostel, tearing at her skin like she was trying to rip something out of herself. She had deep scratches all over, blood everywhere. Her mouth was foaming, her eyes wide, and she kept pointing behind her and screaming, he's coming, don't let him touch me. But there was no one behind her. Then she dropped and she didn't get back up. They said it was a seizure. That's what the school doctor wrote, but we knew better. The girl who used to laugh like her life was perfect died in front of everyone, like something invisible snatched her soul right out of her chest. The police came, took statements. Nobody mentioned Daramola. Everyone was scared. And guess what? Ife got an A in MPR 305 even after she died. They cleared out her things the next day. Her parents didn't come, just her older brother and an uncle. They barely said a word. Her brother looked like he hadn't slept in days. He packed her bags in silence, paused when he saw the cracked mirror, then turned it to face the wall. I don't know why, but that small action gave me chills. They left her makeup kit though. No one touched it, not even the room cleaners. It just sat there on the desk like it was waiting for her to come back and do her brows. The school tried to hush it all up. They released a statement. We are saddened by the sudden passing of one of our beloved students. The university is working with the family to determine the cause of death. Lies, but people talked. The videos had already gone viral. Ife clawing at herself in front of the hostel, screaming things no one wanted to repeat. Students who used to hang with her were now avoiding even the parts in front of our room. Block C became cursed. Nobody wanted to sleep in room 104. Some said if you looked into the cracked mirror at night, you'd see her standing behind you, smiling with bloody gums. I didn't sleep there again, not even once. I moved in with my friend, Nneka, on the top floor. She was the only one who didn't look at me like I was carrying a face ghost on my back. The first night I slept in her room, I cried in the bathroom. I didn't know why. Maybe guilt, maybe fear, maybe both. I think you should talk to someone, Nneka said the next morning. You mean a therapist? I asked. No, she said. Someone who knows what all this is. a seer or a prophet or something. I wanted to laugh, but I didn't because that night I had the dream. In the dream, I was in room 104 again. Everything was just like before. Our beds, our wall clock ticking loudly, even the pink towel Ife used to hang on the wardrobe door. But the air was wrong. It was heavy and it smelled like burnt oil and iron. I turned to look at Ife's bed and she was there, not moving, just lying on her side, staring at me with dead wide eyes. Her lips moved, just barely. She whispered, "He's still here." I woke up shaking. Sweat soaked my back. I couldn't breathe. Nneka had to hold me for over an hour. She called her cousin Adora, a prayer warrior from one of those mountain churches. That girl came the next morning with a Bible, anointing oil, and eyes that had seen things. Adora didn't ask many questions. She just said, "Take me to the room." I hesitated, but I went with her. When we opened the door to room 104, the air hit me like a slap. It was thick like soup. The curtains were still drawn. The mirror was turned, and the salt if you had poured in the corners had turned grey. Adora didn't flinch. She walked to the center of the room, opened her Bible, and started praying. That's when the air changed. It got colder. The window rattled even though there was no wind. I wanted to run, but my legs were stuck. Adora's voice got louder. She was sweating. Then she screamed, "Who are you?" That's when the mirror fell. No one touched it. It just dropped face down and shattered. We left immediately. Adora didn't even pack her things. She just said, "This place is not for the living anymore." We went to Nneka's room and she told us what she saw. She made a deal, Adora said, not with a man, with something else. That man, Daramola, he's only the door. The real thing behind all this is old. Older than the school, maybe older than the land. My skin broke into goosebumps. She offered herself. Maybe she didn't know it was real, but she gave consent, and when she tried to take it back, it came to collect. I asked her what we could do. Adora said, "You? Nothing. Just stay away. Don't speak of her at night. Don't touch anything she left behind, and whatever you do, don't dream in that room." But it didn't stop. Because someone else moved into room 104. Her name was Chiamaka. She didn't believe in ghosts. She laughed when people warned her. "All this foolish African superstition," she said. "It's just a room." She moved in with her friend, Shade. They cleaned it, aired it out, brought new bed sheets, laughed while doing TikToks in front of the new mirror they bought. For a while, nothing happened until Shade started sleeping in the common room. I saw her in the hostel kitchen one night. She looked rough, eye bags, jittery hands, skin pale like she hadn't seen the sun. She talks in her sleep, Shade whispered, Yoruba words, things I don't understand. She scratches the wall. I showed her the videos. She laughed. Then she showed me her arm, 3 long scratches, not from a fall, not from a cut, and her phone had started dying at 3 a.m. every night. 3 days later, Chiamaka ran down the stairs barefoot, screaming. They came, I saw her. She didn't stop running. She ran all the way to the school gate, fell on her knees and started praying in tongues she didn't know. Security took her to the clinic. They said she was having a mental breakdown, but Shade knew better. I did too. They finally locked the room. No one stayed in room 104 since. Every new semester, someone tries, they repaint, replace the furniture, hang prayer stickers on the door. But after a week or two, they always leave. Sometimes at night, people say they hear footsteps inside the locked room, or soft weeping, or the sound of fingernails dragging across wood. Mr. Daramola, he's still teaching. He acts like nothing happened, still walks in his brown native, still smiles at the girls in the front row, still faces people without mercy. Someone once asked him about Efe during class. He paused, looked at the person and said, "Who is that?" Like he forgot or like he never knew her. But me, I remember everything. I remember how her voice cracked when she said, "I passed." I remember the way she looked at this corner of the room like something was waiting for her there. And sometimes when I walk past the old block, I hear her whispering my name.